We see officers walking up to start that briefing on the shooting of a Scottsdale police officer. This actually happened, though, in downtown Phoenix. Let's listen in.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jeff Walther. I'm the Chief of Police with the Scottsdale Police Department. And I just wanted to give you an update on an officer-involved shooting and one of our officers being shot this evening around 7 p.m., a little after 7 p.m. Detectives from the Scottsdale Police Department Special Assignments Unit were serving a search warrant at a apartment complex in Phoenix, in downtown Phoenix, for a suspect wanted in a number of crimes. And at that time, we made contact at the front door. We encountered a woman and a child. We removed them from that apartment and were told that no one else was in the apartment. My detectives, again from the Special Assignments Unit, started to move into that door, recognized somebody down a hallway that peered out and looked at them that the detectives believed was the suspect that we had a warrant for. And that suspect then ducked his head back into a room behind a wall. The detectives set up to talk to the suspect and try to apprehend the suspect, and were met with gunfire through a wall. A number of shots were fired, and the sergeant of the Special Assignments Unit was struck and immediately evacuated out of that apartment via one of the Scottsdale Fire Department SWAT medics, who is on as part of our Special Assignments Unit and SWAT team at that time, and removed from that down to a lower floor. That suspect was engaged by gunfire by another one of our Special Assignments Unit's detectives, and unknown if that suspect was struck, he fled over the second floor balcony and into the neighborhood and fled the scene. Incredible response by our partners in the Phoenix Police Department, who responded to that location en masse. It was fantastic. We have an incredible relationship with Chief Sullivan and the Phoenix Police Department. They responded, and it set up a great perimeter. But as of this time, the suspect has not been captured. The Phoenix Police Department, in concert with the Scottsdale Police Department, will continue to look for this suspect to ensure his apprehension. Until that time, we're going to continue to work that case. The detective is currently in the hospital, surrounded by his family, and is expected to survive. And so at this time, we're going to continue to move forward with this investigation. I have just a thought process for our community, just to give some thought to this notion that we have to ask ourselves a question of, when did this become okay? The Phoenix Police Department has seen this. The Scottsdale Police Department has now seen this. Other police departments in the valley and the state have seen this, an increased number of aggravated assaults on police officers, shootings of police officers. And I think we have to start asking some tough questions of when this became okay. And ultimately, we will release a name down the road to help with the investigation if we don't capture him immediately. And so that I want that question to resonate with our populace of, when did this become okay? Because at some point, this person is going to seek refuge. And we ask that you ask yourself the question of, when did it become okay, and recognize that it's never going to be okay. And so we may be asking for the public's help in apprehension of this violent, armed individual. And I'm happy to take questions, but that's currently where we are tonight.
The officer, is it a sergeant or a detective?
He's a sergeant. He's a detective sergeant.
Okay, and how many times was he injured?
We believe he was shot just once, yes.
Is the suspect considered armed and dangerous right now?
Yes.
So is there anything that you can tell the public about if they see someone, or what should they be looking for?
We don't have all the information that we're going to put out right now. We're still at the very beginning of this investigation, and so we're going to let that investigation play out. We don't believe that this suspect has intentions to harm people in the public. We do believe that he is now fleeing, and so we'll release more information as the investigation progresses, but we want to keep some of that close to the vest due to investigative leads.
And do we know where this detective was shot?
He was shot in the lower abdomen.
And this suspect, obviously he was wanted for crimes. How serious were these crimes of this suspect?
He is a violent criminal.
Whenever they encounter him, did that sergeant that was armed hurt, did he also shoot, or was it only
He did not shoot. He was struck, and one of his detectives next to him returned fire.
And it was through the wall?
The suspect initially fired through the wall, and then we believe that at some point the suspect was likely seen, and that's when the officers exchanged fire.
So did this suspect barricade himself inside?
You've been listening into this police briefing. Obviously,
we
a very
went to
dangerous
that
person
specific
still out on
location
the
to
streets.
look
If you
for
have
that
friends or
specific
family out at First Friday, it would be smart to give them a call and tell them to head home at this time. Avoid this area of downtown Phoenix.
Best news possible, though. We heard that this detective will recover after being shot. Of course, we'll continue to follow this story. We'll have more after the break.